Hi, Facebook users. This is Pam Turner, and we are in the classroom at GNTC. Say hello.
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 We have a special guest today. We have Larissa from Belhaven, and she is going to be discussing some program information about Belhaven. I'm going to stay live the entire time. If you have any questions, feel free just to ask.
Okay, great. So anyway, we have a few starts coming up. When are some of you graduating from here with your associates? This summer, May?
Not this semester, but next.
The next semester, so by August? No. Like December, next December? Okay. Well, our next start would be January, and then after that it would be May. So if any of you graduate here in May and then want to come our way in August, well, we have a May start and then we have an August start. So January, May, August are our three starts that we have coming up. So, as you complete your associates here, you're welcome to stop by the campus, either Chattanooga or Dalton. Chattanooga is on Broad Street, right in the middle of downtown. Dalton is on College Park, right, basically almost across the street from Dalton State. And I work at the Dalton campus, so you're more than welcome to come. You have my business card, call me, set up a campus tour, go over the finances, just see what we're all about, Yeah, field trip. But
the only problem with the field trip is there's nobody there during the day. It's a night. If I'm not out doing this, I'm there. So, yeah. And she would be there, but you wouldn't just see students like the classroom. It's only at night, so that's one of the coolest things.
The beauty of our program is it's one night a week, 6 to 10. So, and each class is 5 weeks long. So every 5 weeks you're earning 3 hours of college credit. So you feel like you're going through the classes very rapidly, which is a good thing because you can just see the light at the end of the tunnel. I was always one of those people. I had to be able to see the light. If it was too far off, it just frustrated me. But so it's just we've had great success with the social services, and the beauty of our program is you're going to already know a professor there, and you already know that you like her and learn a lot from her. So
I know all the others.
Yeah.
And they're wonderful. We're all on the same page, so they're absolutely wonderful.
Right.
And you can only take one class at a time?
No, you can double up. You can.
But 2 is the max, right?
Yeah, 2 would be the max. You may not want to do that every 5 weeks because that would be pretty work intensive. But you could do it, maybe once a semester or something, and that would absolutely expedite your graduation date. So that's a thing.
And for you, Emily, if you don't have to work, I would recommend as often as you could, okay? Because what we mostly get is people who are working full time.
Right.
When I'm pulling in, people are bringing their dinner with them, and that's really okay because the goal is that you have to work. They're mostly adults. They're all adults.
Yeah.
So it's not, and I'm not opposed to other 4-year schools. It's sometimes uncomfortable to sit in classrooms with 18-year-olds who've just been out of class, and this won't happen here. They're adults. So.
Yeah, everybody's adults. Pretty much everyone's had some college. There's a few people that haven't, but for the most part, people are trying to pick up where they left off, several years ago. So I was one of the adult learners. In fact, I went back as a single mom with 3 kids working full time, and that's how I finished my degree. It wasn't with Belhaven, it was Covenant College Quest, but now Belhaven's taken over. So I know that it's a doable program,
You go, girl.
Yeah.
She also teaches here at night.
Yeah, I teach here at GNTC, yeah. So, I went back and got my master's with Belhaven, so, which, that would be an option for you all as well.
Okay, and then
so.
that's another question I have too, because wouldn't you have to change?
We offer a Master of Science in Leadership, which would be, I think, a really good fit for social services, and then we offer the MBA.
Okay.
So, yeah, those are the 2 right now. Now, we offer more online, but that's the only 2 on the ground. And at the master's level, they're 8 weeks versus the 5 weeks. But I will say that the program includes all your books. Awesome. So you never have to pay out of pocket for books.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so we're, you know, when you come in, we'll go over all the finances and how much we take military discount for yourself, or if your spouse, if you're married, we're in the military, we accept that. So that's a 20% discount off tuition. And then some of you probably have employer reimbursement, you know, if you have that, if you work, you know, that's a help as well. So if you qualify for the Pell, that's a really big break if you qualify. You know, like Pam was saying, you know, it's than here, but we're a lot less than Southern Adventist University, and we're just a very viable option. For me, it was the convenience. I mean, they're not easy classes. You're going to learn. You're going to have to write and study, but at the same time, it's doable. If you know, you can achieve those. I'm living proof. I feel like I'm living proof of that.
I will tell you personally, and I've heard it from the other teachers, most of our graduates are really a little further ahead than some people who've especially been out of school for a few years, and you guys are in the study. I teach you very much the way that they teach at Belhaven. A lot of the work is done outside the classroom, so it's really, you're expected to have your reading done before you come in the classroom. We're going to discuss your reading, the same as here. Some of the things that I hear a lot, or the complaints that I kind of hear, are the concerns. There's a lot of group work in all of your classes. It's group assignments. The rationale that I make you do group assignments is because the truth is that I'm not the one that keeps you in school. It's your coworkers, your peers. So the pressure that comes from Emily calling you as opposed to me calling you is a lot different. Right. So that group process really helps you make friends and kind of get to know people, to encourage you. And also, I don't know about all of the teachers, but most of them give you time inside class, or you can stay after to really work on that, because most of my students live, you know, everywhere in Chattanooga. I mean, they live everywhere. So to try to get together sometimes it's difficult. They do a lot of the Google Docs. So yeah, so you kind of put everything together. Yeah, and you mail everything to one person, do a group presentation. So that should not be a challenge. And I hear a lot of people, if they fail, I don't want to get a D. The teachers, well, yes, and I think that the teachers kind of know which students maybe might not give as much. So, and we're aware of that, and certainly you'll be aware. You know in your classroom now which students, so that's just something I hear a lot of concerns about. And also it is from the Christian worldview, that is the way it is taught. I have a lot of my graduates who, I'll be very honest, when I saw that, I was surprised. What are you doing here? So, but it's not, there are a lot of students who do not have the faith, and that's really okay. It's not that. There are students who believe very differently than I believe, and that's okay. The goal is not to change your religious views. The goal is to understand the Christian worldview, and that is where we come from. So when I teach, there's scripture that goes along with usually. And again, it's like anything else. As when it comes to scripture, we may read it totally different. Right. And most teachers, they're not forcing it down your throat. We're going to discuss what you believe, and this is kind of, why do you understand it this way, and we'll talk about it. But it's you do not have to be a biblical scholar. And as a teacher, there's a lot of Bible studies majors. And I'm like terrified when they're in my class because they can quote scripture and verse, and I'm like, got my phone trying to find them. So, but honestly, yes. But don't feel like it's a warm fuzzy. It's a place where it's okay to pray with your students if they ask. It's just cannot tell you. And Regina, Regina's my best bud, and I knew, and I'll tell her that. And I knew when she graduated that she would not be my secretary anymore. I knew that, and I would not have said anything different. She loved every minute of it, and her husband didn't like me, but I encouraged her. But it feels good. I can't really explain that. It just feels good.
It really does. I mean, I work there now, but I miss that camaraderie of class, and it was a break from my kids, and I developed friendships, and that was like 10 years ago, and I still keep in contact with my classmates, and we're all Facebook friends, and we'll get together that I get together with. Another thing a little bit about the history is Belhaven is out of Jackson, Mississippi, if y'all know where that is, and It's been there since 1883. So it's not a fly-by-night school. They've been around forever. They have a beautiful, I kind of equate it to the Lookout. Have y'all been to Covenant College on Lookout or driven up there? It's kind of that same feel, just a small Christian college, about 1,500 traditional students there. They're regionally and, accreditation is what you can get. But we've only been in Chattanooga and Dalton for 7 years, so we're relatively new here, but both campuses are doing, Dalton campus is really growing, so. I would say like from probably 6 to about 15. Yeah, so they're small, kind of about like what you're experiencing here.
Like the required classes for everybody, like the biblical studies, those are bigger
Those
sometimes.
are bigger. Those may be like maybe about 10 to 15, 16. Yeah.
4 or 5 students in class.
Yeah.
One of the things, I'm sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
One thing I also like is when you take your classes, you're not taking classes, even your social work classes are with other majors. So it's kind of nice to sometimes hear a business major come in who has a very different viewpoint than we have. It's a nice conversation, and just to kind of hear, how other people think. So I really like that part when you're not all social workers in the class. It's kind of neat for me.
You get different perspectives that way, yeah. Now, some of them, they'll be more social workers, but then in other classes, it'll be more of a mixed variety, so. Any other questions that you can think of? What I would like for you to do is I handed y'all a tablet. If you have an interest, like within just if you want me to contact you or reach out to you through email, give me your name, your email address, and maybe your graduation date here, and then I can kind of hey, we have a start coming up, and then send out a reminder and things like that. So if that's something you would like me to do, just on the tablet, write your name and your email address.
Can you say for my Facebook people how to contact you?
Yes, for Facebook people, contact me at L McCutcheon, MCCUT.edu, or my telephone number is 706-260-9940. So either way is fine, and come by the office.
And certainly if you don't have that, feel free to give me an email and I will forward it to you, okay?
The tuition at Belhaven is...
Hold on. What's the tuition here? And then when I ask you that, you're not the only one, because some people always ask that, but you have no idea even where our tuition is.
I can tell you how much I pay after the full Pell. If you get Pell after full Pell, if I'm right. I think it's like $4,300. Really good after your Pell, and I'm pretty sure that you could probably talk and.
And Pell's individual though. Pell depends on your own where you're
Pell, if
at.
you qualify for the most Pell, yeah.
Right.
5,600 is the most you can receive from Pell in a year, depending on how much you've used and depending on your income levels. You may not qualify for the full amount. Only y'all probably know that what you receive here. So, but if you get the full Pell, it reduces it to about $4,000 a year, which that would be bottom dollar because we cover all the cost of your books. So then you would have to take out a small student loan if you don't have any employer reimbursement. If you had any military, that would reduce that a little bit further. So, which isn't, nobody likes to take out student loan. I had to take it out. I did not, I was uneasy about it, but I just took out exactly what I needed. I didn't take out the full amount. And, I had it paid back within 6 years. So, I came in with 48 hours. Yeah.
I will owe $75,000.
But the convenience of it outweighed my fear of not getting my degree, because had I not been proactive 10 years ago, I don't know what I would be doing today, to be quite honest.
Right.
So.
And what I always tell you, they can't repossess extra education.
That's right. When I asked you about the tuition now, and you gave me the answer on the tuition or general estimate of the answer, does that include the entire program or is it per year?
Yeah, you can pay for it. You can pay for it yearly, or you can just break it down into semesters. You can break it down into classes. You can just pay how, set up the payment plan that you want with Student Financial Services. But we're like right at around 10,000 a year. If
Without pay, like if you don't get any
Yeah,
bill.
no.
yeah, it'd be right at 10,000 a year without any Pell. Yeah, and that would cover the cost of your.
What are you a semester hour?
We are $375 or $365 or $75 a semester hour.
And what are we?
It's comparable to here, right? I mean, that's,
Nope, 88.
Isn't it 87 or something?
It's about 100. It's about 100. So for
But for a
one
private Christian college,
With
we're
books.
very much in line.
With
In fact,
books.
yeah,
Yeah.
factor in the books, yeah.
So, and even when you look at a typical four-year institution, my son went to Tennessee Tech, which is a state school. His tuition without room or board was $28,000 a year, and that's a state school. That's not even. And then my daughter, who goes to a private college, it's about triple that.
That's what it is to go to college.
I'm sorry.
I know.
Yeah, no, perfect, yeah. Anybody else have their name and number, and then I'll.
I'm already on
Oh, you already. What is your name?
Emily?
Oh, Emily.
I
Okay.
ain't gonna tell you what I
I've
was
read
gonna
your
do
emails.
again.
Oh, okay.
From
okay.
Chattanooga,
Yeah. Okay.
I'm almost like 110% sure that like this is where I'll.
Me too.
Yeah.
Okay, great, thank you.
I've never even like looked at another option.
Right.
Once I like really
It's
found out and
great,
looked into
yeah.
this, I just.
Now, would you be interested in Dalton or Chattanooga?
I would probably do Chattanooga.
Me
Uh-huh.
too.
You would both do Chattanooga?
Yes.
Okay.
My students sometimes will do whatever helps them graduate the fastest. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Could you be
'Cause
flexible?
sometimes-
Absolutely.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
If you told me
Yeah.
I needed to
Okay.
do this in Dalton and this in
Yeah,
Chattanooga, I
because
would
that's
be
what
like,
happens
okay.
sometimes
Okay.
is
What
you
I'm
think,
gonna do is get
What
you
you
in
think?
as Dalton students, and then you could go, to both campuses.
Oh, okay.
That would probably help your graduation.
it usually does. Because
Sometimes we may not have a class offered down there, and it's offered up in Chattanooga. So
Yeah, either
right.
way's fine. That's good.
The way since we're small, we have our two advisors. They literally take every student at the Dalton campus, and they look at each of your class schedules, so they know exactly what y'all need, and that's how they make the class schedule. And so you don't have to worry about, this course has been canceled.
Right.
This course has been canceled. None of that's going on, because they gear the schedule towards every student at the Chattanooga campus and the Dalton campus.
Larissa, do you examine their transcripts for a fee?
No, I waive GNTC costs, so at any point in time, we can examine transcripts. You do have to fill out the application, but I waive the fee. And every GNTC student gets a $500 scholarship right off the bat, too.
And just know that the larger colleges, they will not even look at your transcripts without application fees and money.
Yeah.
You do
So-
have to fill out the application, but we don't
Right.
charge the fee, so, yeah, so I'm willing to do that anytime, just call me up and, we
Does
can.
GPA affect?
Or higher.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it was.
Or you have to, we can still get you in below that, but you have to do, write an essay and, take an AccuPlacer.
So you cannot, a D is not acceptable in any of my programs.
Yeah.
And if you're to C, we're going to have a conversation, so you shouldn't have that problem.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
I was asking for my friend.
Very good, wow, wow.
Question.
Uh-huh.
If I were to apply that says BSW or graduate.
even if it says 4 years up things that sometimes words that Indeed picks up. So it really is kind of when we write our resumes.
Could you do an extra, like, semester here and take any of these classes?
Or any of the sciences. I've been fighting that. I've been fighting for that for years. We only have one biology teacher, and it is only for the medical profession. So that's
Another teacher told me
yeah.
that.
And I understand because we only have one teacher, so I do understand that. But a lot of four-year schools, not just social work, a lot of the other programs who want to go on need to have that, and it's a lot cheaper here. But
As a
it's
student,
not
I
been.
don't understand that, like, seriously.
So, but we do have a science class you can take, and it's 5 weeks long. Or you could actually, since it's not in your major, you could actually plug that course. But to me, that would be would do on that. But if science is your thing, you can actually study for it, and then go and register for at Dalton State or Chat State, and go take the test. And I did do that in 2 of my classes for my undergrad, and the materials today are unbelievable. You just download them onto your laptop, and you can study anywhere, your phone, I'm sure now too, and you take practice tests. And what I did, what worked best for me is I just set the date in my head, and I called up and I set the date with Chat State. I'm going to come in on this date and take the test. And then about a month prior, I just started hitting it really hard and studying and doing just test out of it. And so number one, it's going to save you, well, with us, 5 weeks here would save a semester, but with us, it would save you 5 weeks, it would save you $1,000.
Yeah.
So it's going to save you time, it's going to save you money. So you can do that with any class that's not in your core.
If I went home today and filled out the application, should I wait to fill it out, or can I go ahead and fill it out and give it to you?
Well, the application's good for 1 year.
Oh, for you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, but you could always fill out another one in a year, but
Still not cost, because I'm
Yeah.
thinking I'll probably start
She
in
said
March.
she does that for all GEDs.
yeah,
She
Okay.
loves GEDs,
Right.
so.
yes. You all are very special group of people here.
Good way. Well, some of my students don't.
I mean, application is good for a year,
Okay.
so, absolutely. Just select, you'll just go on to Belhaven, you'll see adult grad program studies,
Okay.
because you don't want it to go to Jackson,
Right.
Mississippi, and then you'll see, Chattanooga/Dalton, click on that, and then you'll see the Dalton campus, click on that.
And you can apply online?
Hey guys.
And you can apply online, yes.
I was looking at it, I was hesitant to fill it out.
Hey guys, if you are watching,
they're
give
good
us
for a
some
whole
thumbs
year.
up, some
Yeah.
hearts, some wows. Let us know you're out
I've
there.
worked with people that have filled out an application a year and a half later, they just have to redo the application
Right,
when they
and so
start.
we-
so.
I think it would be good to fill out the application too, because it would be like,
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
I
Like,
gotta keep
I
going.
can't-
Yeah.
I'll harass you too, just so you know that.
Yeah, just get some-
They also have a conversion link, like, the courses that we take that would convert,
Uh-huh.
would that be online? Or,
They don't really have the conversion rate. What you have to do is fill out the application. We have to get the transcripts. We send it to Registrar, and then they of exactly what to get your most accurate reading. That's the way you need to do it. I can kind of look over it and I can say, I'm pretty sure this one will, and I'm confident this one will. I'm pretty sure this one will, but to really know bottom line exactly how long it's going to take for you to finish up with us, because they can just tell you.
The majority of my students, let me back up. One of the good things about having online class 5 weeks is if something happens, you can take a 5-week off and not kill your entire semester.
Right.
Because here in the 15-week semester, if something happens, you've lost that semester.
right.
So you can, if something happens, just not register for that 5 weeks and then pick up and keep going. That's a good thing. So for most of my students who have not taken any semesters off, who've doubled up once or twice, they're done within a year and a half.
Yeah.
I do have some students who are on their 3rd year there, but that's because they've taken a semester off, life has happened. Exactly, things happen. So that's the one good thing that I like is the 5 weeks.
Yeah, because I was thinking.
You
And
take-
if you double
That's
up,
five
you can even
classes.
get in and out probably in a year.
I
if you
almost
double
wish I
up.
could like triple up one semester.
I did that one time, one time only. But I was kind of like in one class, I was in 3 classes at the same time for 2 weeks, then 2 classes for like 1 week, and that was hard. I'll admit. I thought, yeah, that was tough, but.
There are also some online options,
Yeah.
not in the social work, but some of the other classes you have to take.
Right.
They are, like most colleges, more expensive.
Right.
We're the
And
only
you do
college
pay for
that
your books online.
we're the only college that doesn't charge more for online. To be very honest, most classes just are. But that is an option also if something happens and you can't.
It's a little bit more, not a
So.
lot more. The major difference is you pay for your book.
Right.
But that is an option if you wanted to, take an on-ground course in conjunction with an online, you can do that.
Because if you wanted to like knock it out at the end, I feel like you could just like, I would.
You also have to do an
I would wanna kill
internship.
myself, but-
And April, Miss Taylor is the one who's the field director there, and she and I are pretty close. So
And it has to be
we.
a totally separate internship.
It
from-
does, but she's also very good, same as we are, of the job you currently work, kind of working that out also. And we share many of the same sites, so we, and her, it's pretty much the same way we run. Hers is 2 semesters, it's a little bit different, but it's pretty much like the way we run. And I'll put that out there, it's not much difference. You may even run into a Belhaven student at your internship. We have a good relationship with them.
Get my classes done. I know if I'm,
Alright.
and I also know my personality too. If I got a job right now, I'd be like, I got some money in my pocket. I don't need school. So I kind of, and my dad knows I'm like that too. So he's like, just go to school. Because sometimes I'm like, I could get a little part time. He's like,
Can we all just live with your dad?
right.
Let's all move in.
Well, that's good, that's sweet. But even for the people who do work, you'll see that it is pretty doable.
I really like also is, so before the 5 weeks starts, you have the syllabus that you know. So you know if there's a major project coming up on week 4 and you need to start early, you've got everything in front of you before school even starts. So when you enter week 1, you have an assignment due.
Right.
So it really is, because it is only 5 weeks, they've got to get it in there. But it's laid out, the dates are there, you know exactly when it's due. So you really are always ahead. You can be always ahead of the ball game.
The key to the program to me is just time management and keeping up. If you can do that, you've got it made in the shade. You really do. I mean, it's
62 hours or 65? What is it
for,
that you'll take?
yeah, around 62 to 65, yeah.
So some of you have a lot more than that,
Yeah.
and they don't take, that's the max
That's
they take.
max.
So just
That's
know,
not us, that's any
Yeah.
college.
62 credit hours.
yes. So if you went to like Chat State before and here and here and here, and you have like 120, I'm really sorry. No other no college is going to take that. Or really broke.
Yeah, because I mean, I've seen some people with 2 and 3 associates, and then they're like, well, yeah, you still have, half of your college left still.
You go to apply for a job and they're like, do you have your bachelor's? No, but I have 3. Yeah. And I'm just saying, 3 is one of them.
Hit 'em up, everybody.
Let me know how that works for you, okay?
Maybe he'll have a sense of humor.
I know I can't say anything, but it's better probably just to go on and get the bachelor's and get the master's and not have the 3 associates, but that's good too. So. Anyway, any other questions y'all can think of? Just paraphernalia with you, so just look through everything. Pam knows just about as much as me now this day and age, but it's fun to have a guest speaker.
It
so.
is. And things change.
Yeah, things change, yeah, right. So I'm in the nitty gritty and I work in admissions, so, there's some things that she may not be aware of.
So we will definitely be seeing your face.
Okay, yeah, good.
Yeah, I'll definitely be.
Yeah, awesome.
And so you said that there's master's programs
I think it's
What?
one or two
Mm-mm, no.
That's on Canvas.
There's
Yeah.
two physical, right, two physical classes, and then the other ones are online, or they're only two masters?
There's just on the ground,
Yeah.
the Master of Science in Leadership, and then the MBA, and then,
And the other one.
but those are also offered online, and then we have others online.
Okay, yeah.
I would have to get the list off the top of my head. I know they have,
So you could get your own.
There's
there's
something.
public administration that's been real popular. There's, you
I
can do some criminal justice online.
I've had a couple of graduates, and we've had the conversation of what to do next, and it really depends on what you want to do. The public leadership one, especially if you envision yourself being in management or directing a social service agency, that's a wonderful one if that's kind of what you see yourself doing. If you want to do clinical work, then that's probably not the college for you. The UTC and online, UTK is totally online, distance learning, and UTC has a master's degree as well in social work. Kennesaw State also has a really good one in human services online also. One of the girls on Facebook has kind of talked. And if you ask our other students, most of our graduates are on Facebook, and you can certainly ask me and I'll tell you which ones, because usually at that point you kind of need to decide what you want to do. So, and if you really want, you know, my degree is I'm a clinical social worker because I wanted to do therapy. I knew that's MSW, which is a licensed mental health social worker, people who ever want to do therapy. So you kind of get to decide at that point what you want to do with your life. So, and then and the more you get in school, the more you specialize also.
So just give the two people that missed
That's
their.
when we're gonna plan a field trip.
What day of the week does it meet on? You said it met one day.
It can
a
be
week?
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday. So your first 5 weeks, that class may meet on a Monday, then the second 5 weeks may meet on a Thursday.
Okay.
Then it may go back to Monday or Tuesday,
But it's always 6 to 10.
but it's always 6 to 10, yeah, and it's just one night a week. But it can be Monday through Thursday, and
So like when you're in class on that Monday, your teacher will be like,
see, Monday for 5 weeks.
So the same way that I
And then
teach.
the second class may be on a Thursday for 5 weeks, yeah. So, and people come in, you know, they're coming in from work, you just bring in your food, sit at the table like and eat, and, you know, it's just a very relaxed. Coffee of no charge, vending machines, and so come in and just, yeah, make a pot of coffee and.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah.
It is. It's a
Hotel,
very
so,
relaxed environment.
it's,
And I don't want to not say the other traditional four-year schools. I think if you are a traditional student and you're fresh out of high school or 20-something, those are really great places because you meet more people like you. And I'll be very honest, my 20-year-olds, I don't send to Belhaven. That's probably not the environment if you're 20. Go to UTC and hang out and join a frat and have a great time. I mean, honestly, that's age appropriate.
Right.
But if you are not 20-something and have responsibility, I think this is a better choice.
And we do have some younger people, but they're like maybe married and already have started their families or whatnot. So, you know, they're coming our way or working.
Mm-hmm.
38, somewhere in there, so. The good people. A lot of them work in industry in town, you know, so you got people from Shaw, OU, Verizon, you know, just all kinds of different corporations and businesses and. It seems like y'all are kind of the same mentality here too, so.
I just spent this morning tucking them. They will learn APA style.
Oh,
They will
well,
learn.
that's
That is
funny.
just not a give. They will learn.
Yeah, we use the APA style, so. All right, well, thank you so much for allowing me to come in.
Thanks for
And if
coming.
Thank
any of
you.
if you do work and you think your organization might be interested in a lunch and learn, there's some flyers up here, because,
Put this out there. Let me hang up.